Hey everyone, it is Alex again, and I am back with my next video and the introduction of my second build of the League. I've actually been playing this a ton this weekend, and I got a bit farther than I meant to before I made this first video. But uh, this is Echoforge, and we are Occultist. So the original plan was Cleave. I ended up leveling with Poisonous Concoction, and then around early maps and such, I went with Cyclone because Cleve was feeling kind of bad. After I got the build in a much better spot, I then switched back to Cleve. However, it honestly was still not feeling very good. So I went ahead and decided to try out some different skills, and I have landed on Bladestorm. Bladestorm is actually very interesting. And I'm hopeful that the single target will come out. I'm missing the enchant for the extra storm, which is a solid like 20% more single target DPS. I need that. But the clear is good because I have a shitload of AoE scaling in this build. And all in all, it has felt pretty good. I've been playing the build for solidly this weekend. I'm hit level 92. My XP per hour has been really, really good. I just died a few times running a couple bosses, and those videos of the Elder with a Maven will be at the end of this video. So yeah, let's see. What's our played time? 17 hours. We're level 92. It's been pretty fun. So I'm actually gonna start this video off with a showcase. Something I've been messing up on my first build this league. We can go ahead and see what this is all about. So the clear is pretty good, mostly just because I'm a cultist. Single target is okay. Still working on getting the single target up to a good spot. The build has actually felt pretty tanky. By the way, this shrine will do nothing because I'm running a lore weave. The build has felt pretty tanky. I decided to invest in a bit of... Oh, my left click is wrong. I was like, my character keeps stuttering, and it's because the left click is auto attack. It's actually felt pretty tanky, and the clear is obviously good. The main drawback of this build so far, there's two of them. Single target is still somewhat mediocre, and the actual like recovery of its life is not great yet, as you can see. I think I got bled there. I forgot I changed this. There we go. And that. Yep, I changed it because I was running the Enslaver. He does a lot of fire damage, and it's very painful. So as you can see, the single target is not fantastic. We're still figuring that out with the build. But the clear obviously feels pretty good. So yeah, I'm hopeful that this will be a pretty strong build once I'm finished putting all the currency into it that I intend to. This is a map that actually has a pretty tanky boss because of the extra life, and the reduced damage from crits definitely cuts my damage down a lot against a single target. I did do a Maven Elder pretty smoothly. I died once and you'll see that, but that was because I got slowed and I did not see the Elder Slam coming. But yeah, I don't know. I have enjoyed it so far. Let's see if I can actually kill these bosses this time. I'll put up a TP just in case. I'm on the wrong color. Nope. Those guys are dangerous. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just leave those be then. Not the best showcase to the build, to be honest. I usually go very deathless in maps. That is just a particularly dangerous one, it seems. So, bad showcase, I suppose. But I'll just leave it at that. You can trust me on it. You'll see the Elder fight to get an actual sense of what my bossing capability is. Apparently those guys are just rough. They probably do a lot of physical damage, and so that Fizz's extra elemental was doing a lot of damage, and also my Fizz damage mitigation is okay. We have about 14k armor. We'll usually have 3 endurance charges, and then I have Watcher's Eye with some more Fizz damage reduction from the determination. So it's there, but it's probably not enough, and that is definitely a hole I'm trying to fill in the build. Alright, so that out the way, let's go ahead and just go over some of the core mechanics. Offensively, obviously, Echoforge. So we're running pure chaos damage, can't do any physical or elemental damage. This run is rolled somewhat decently. We've got high roll on the actual chaos damage, mid roll on the attack speed slightly below, good life, and then mid roll on the area of effect. So it's definitely above average because we get a bit of extra damage and a good amount of life, but the attack speed and area is decent. This is what we're running right now. I've only got 5 linked at the moment with my Ancestor War Chief in there, going okay. Then the other core mechanic is going to be the lore weave situation I've got going on. You get the maximum resistances are 78, and then we are using the new amulet. So this just got released this league, Eternal Damnation. So the key line here is gain additional elemental damage reduction equal to half your chaos resistance. So we are running 78 chaos resistance because lore weave gives us 78, and we're also able to ignore the -5 maximum resistances because of lore weave. So we're actually running 78 across the board when when this amulet would actually have us down to 70. So we end up with an additional, it would be 39% elemental damage reduction on top of our 78 Ellie res, which is going to land you somewhere in the realm of equivalent of like 86, 87% max res for elemental damage, which is why I keep saying phys damage mitigation is the problem of this build, and of course recovery, which is what was killing me in that fight there. I think I was getting bled or maybe ignited, things like that, and those situations are definitely dangerous to the build, and key points will be getting rid of those situations. So I could probably get rid of bleed with a flask. I need to upgrade this flask. That might help a lot. So yeah, phys mitigation and dots are definitely the issues for the build. As far as the rest of the gear goes, we're power charge stacking, so we've got one on the amulet, and our anoint is a power charge. We've got a despair on hit ring right here. This is just to proc the explosions, and we obviously do need despair. And we're running a mark on hit, assassin mark for single target. Then this ring is just accuracy. I needed the dex, resist, and life. I crafted this myself. It wasn't too expensive. Getting something similar to this was going to cost like a divine, so I just made it myself with a fractured base and a dex essence. Turned out okay. Nothing fancy, and I'll definitely try to upgrade this, but it fills a lot of holes in the build that I need filling, so it'll be hard to replace. These gloves I got using the new POB tool because I ended up fixing my resists with boots, so I was able to go pretty much full damage on this. I need the dexterity to save me a point on the tree, but otherwise I've got the attack speed, accuracy rating, and damage during flask effect. There's a big damage buff on this gloves. I'm still trying to roll the implicits. I've not gotten lucky on that so far. I'm looking for, I think, phys converted to chaos. Intimidate is actually not that good in this build because it does not stack with wither multiplicatively. It does stack, but it's additive, and so it's not particularly valuable. So I'm trying to get phys converted to chaos, but for right now, it's just got added chaos, and that's okay. Like I said, the boots help me replace the gloves. I got some really nice boots here. Move speed, ton of resist, life, and then I went ahead and dropped, got brittle ground on it. So these boots were very nice. I was happy with this grab. It helps a lot with the filling out the resists. Belt is just kind of, I need the strengths and then lots of resists and life. So nothing too fancy there. The helmet I actually also got using the POB tool. Just went ahead and searched through that, found this. I need the strength, got the crit multi-resist and the power charge, and crafted life. It's pretty nice. It is missing the enchant, which Bladestorm desperately needs for a single target, and that is the additional Bladestorm. If I had done a boss that wasn't 3 rogue exiles bleeding me constantly, I could have probably showed off the single target a little better in that map showcase, but once again, there will be an Elder fight at the end of the video, so you can see that. But the Bladestorm enchant will be a nice boost in damage. Flasks, I'm just running crit chance with move speed with armor, and then armor with attack speed. I will probably end up maybe running a Bottled Faith. The damage taken, again, is additive with Withered, so it's not as valuable on this build as it is maybe on other builds. But it is still a lot of crit chance, so it may be worth running. Then a life flask, and then a bit of tech here, and another reason why this build desperately needs life regen is Forbidden Taste. This helps a lot with surviving big hits, because if I take a big hit that doesn't kill me, it will instantly proc this, and I will recover all of my life. I then do, however, start taking a bunch of life as chaos damage. Now, my chaos resist is very high, but this is still somewhere around the realm of 5% life degen. which is a lot. And so even between leech and this flask, if I'm getting bled or ignited, that plus that forbidden taste both running, I really struggle to recover any HP. So that is definitely a weakness of the build, and I'm looking at some tech to fix that in the future. As far as gems, we're running Bladestorm, crit damage, crit strikes, power charge on crit, right here, then crit strikes, void manipulation, and fortify support. I wanted the tank from fortify. You can get more damage at a multi-strike for sure, but I wanted the fortify. Mark on hit, assassin mark. We got ice golem. This 5-link here is ancestral war chief. We're running pulverize, ruthless, crit strikes, and void manipulation just because of the colors I got. I intend to probably get the 6-linked, and the links may also change depending on the colors I get, but this is just a little damage addition to the build. I was really hoping to be able to use Frozen Legion, but that does not work with two-handed swords. My cat is very upset with me trying to get out the door. I'm sorry. We're then running Blood and Sand, faster attacks on Leap Slam, and then Precision. Haste and Fall Haste, because there really aren't that many damage options in the build, so we're running Haste as a damage option, makes the build quite a bit smoother. Yeah, Determination, Precision, Blood and Sand. I'm running Blood Rage and then Molten Shell on left click for the extra tankiness. Alright, so as far as the tree, we are Occultist, like I said. We're running the Pops, then we're running the Take 2 Chaos nodes here. This really helps out with the Chaos Resistance and the Wither. I don't have to bother with a Wither Totem or anything like that. I get Wither on long fights anyway, and short ones, you know, they don't really matter anyway. And then I got the power charge stacking, of course. So we're going full power charge stuff, lots of AoE, lots of crit multi, crit chance. I anoint this one over here, and that works out very well. We get the +1 on the helmet as well. Yeah, so life, this is mostly for resistance stats. It's just kind of a hard point to drop. Come up here, we take this Chaos Wheel for the pin and the Wither effect, and then I take Fizz Convert right here. This is actually a solid, like, 12% more DPS, I think, on that Mastery. I take here this for the CB immunity because I don't have it on a jewel yet, and also all of this Chaos Resistance is hard to get on the gear. It's a lot of suffix pressure in this build, and then this, the Reduced Effective Curse. This is obviously nice. I need this accuracy rating here. Life, of course. Life. Power charge. Some reservation efficiency. Life. And then I ran the minion setup. The minion attack speed and the minion damage setup because there really wasn't that many options for scaling for this build on this half of the tree. So I had to kind of go with that and then a cluster jewel to get a lot of my damage. That's what we're running there. As far as the cluster jewel, I have gone with a attack damage cluster. This could also have been a two-handed cluster or a sword cluster. They all have the same nodes that we need, and that is going to be the life leech and the mana leech. So that's what this build desperately needed, and so I ended up running that for this cluster. And then I also got heavy hitter, just a solid 30% increased attack damage. I'm then running an AoE cluster here, just pure area of effect, not really any damage. But it's a lot of area of effect with the power charge stacking, and it's assert dominance, so it makes our clear very nice. I may end up opting this into maybe more of a single target option, because the clear, to be honest, feels fantastic. So I may end up switching this cluster jewel into more of a single target option instead, because that's what the build is lacking. I'm then running a Enduring Composure jewel, because again, physical damage reduction, we get armor and endurance charges. As far as our jewels, just life, attack speed, crit multi on this one, and life, area damage, multi, and some stats is always nice. And then again, the Watcher's Eye. This is actually a 3-stat Watcher's Eye. I've got the Determination, physical damage reduction, attack speed from precision, and then Onslaught with haste. So this is very nice. Obviously, I could theoretically get Onslaught on boots, but these boots are going to be very hard to replace. So I think makes my life just a little easier with this Watcher's Eye. So yeah, that pretty much covers the character as it exists right now. It has been pretty fun. It has been leveling extremely smoothly. I don't die most maps. I hit level 92 going at like 300 million XP an hour. It's been pretty fantastic. Absolutely blasting through once I got the character going. The hardest part for this character was like Act 10 and white maps because I was trying cleave. It felt terrible. I didn't have a lot of the scaling that the build needed. The tankiness wasn't there. A lot of things were missing. So it was a little bit of a struggle right about that transition from campaign into maps. But once I got things going, it went very, very smoothly. Yeah. And yeah, I just want to say before I go ahead and show you guys the Elder fight, this build is not super squishy. I know that boss fight made it look terrible because I think that was punching straight into the hole in the tank of this build, which is bleeds and phys damage mitigation, but it actually can tank a shitload of LE damage, even with only 4.3k life, and obviously can tank a lot of chaos damage. So the goal for this build in the next foreseeable future is single target and phys mitigation. If I can get those two things, this should actually be a very well-rounded character, and I am hoping I can take it far. I'll hopefully have more boss fights for you guys in the next video. But yep, that's it for me. Enjoy the Elder fight, and I will see you guys later.
I've never seen anything like this. Resist the assault. Grip of the infinite. A veil of safety and security. Resist the assault. Struggle or strangle. A veil of safety. Struggle or strangle. Resist the assault. Grip of the infinite. A veil of safety and security. Struggle or strangle.
I need more mana.
Grasp your mortality tightly. Tight tethers. Resist the assault. Grip of the infinite. Grasp your mortality tightly. The void protects its children. Grip of the infinite. Grasp your mortality tightly. Tight tethers. Grasp your mortality tightly. A veil of safety and security. Grasp your mortality tightly. Tight tethers.
To me, exile. Quickly.
Such a rare sight to behold. There must be more.